for English literature, there's a lot to remember. 18 poems, quotes from 3 books. What's the best way to remember so much whilst you're revising? Do you have any kind of suggestions about that?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to remember for literature. You've got your set text, you've got your novel and your play and your poems. Obviously, a lot of that would have been the way I look at it, and the way I try to encourage students to think about it is that throughout the whole course, you're revising really. So even if you're doing you've done 5 poems, you're still revising those at an early stage in the course. So it becomes a little bit less overwhelming, I think, if you think of it like that. And the other thing to remember is that you're not going to be assessed on everything, but you do need to have a good knowledge to go into the exam with. So it all comes down to little and often again, I think. A poem is relatively short usually, so a lot of the GCSE ones are. So rereading one, or, if you've studied them all, rereading one, maybe 1 a week or 2 a week, maybe even more than that if you need to, and doing it little and often. So you're building up that knowledge, and you're not getting frantic or fretful about the fact that you've got a huge amount of text to remember. So it's about planning ahead, and it's not about getting panicky or worried about how much you've got to remember, but sort of breaking it down into manageable chunks, and hopefully that will help you and you'll get the good exam questions that you want.
That's fantastic. So start now, build yourself up, like we've heard some other advice earlier on, and don't leave it till the last minute and try and cram on all of those poems and texts and things like that, because that will be a lot harder to remember, and revisit them. Repetition is a real secret, I think, to a lot of subjects. Kind of revisit, make sure you're going over things again.